existing areas, the first thing is they didn't talk anything about the water regarding pollution control and water contamination. So what is pollution? Pollution is nothing but the addition of the elements. It could be in the form of solid, liquid or gaseous, okay? So or it can be in the form of energy also. It could be in the form of heat, it can be in the form of sound, or it can be in the form of radioactivity, okay, which are contaminating or they are making harmful, okay. It is leading to the faster rate of polluting certain things, okay, at a faster rate rather than making it diluted, okay, or increasing the harmful substances. So pollution could be of different types. There are different types of pollution. We have got air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution or land pollution. Then there are other forms of pollution like noise pollution or sound pollution. There is light pollution, and finally we have got the plastic pollution. So these kind of pollutions are indirectly impacting the basic water pollution. So here, as we are talking about the river system, so our main intention is to focus on the water pollution. Our main intention is to focus on the water pollution. So air pollution is indirectly impacting that. Again, because of the water pollution, the soil or the land pollution is existing. And coming to the other forms of pollution, like we have got sound or noise pollution, which is impacting the flora or fauna of the rivers, like aquatic plants. Okay, it is indirectly impacting the aquatic flora and fauna, and the radioactive substances which are released into the waters, okay, in the river waters. So that can also have an impact, which will be like leading to the pollution. So there should be some pollution control methodologies or techniques. Like we can go for like solid waste management, okay, or water treatment plants before releasing the water into the river system, okay. And the hazardous waste had to be like diverted from this. They should not mix up with the river waters. So that is, we can like go for the pollution control and water contamination could be controlled. So there are no certain provisions in the treaty regarding to the quality of the water. So water quality is drastically, we can say, destroyed or contaminated. And coming to the environmental flows. So Pakistan has raised a major concern regarding the wastage which is entering the rivers. So what is Pakistan is complaining is that Pakistan is saying that India is dumping the garbage into the Indus river system, that is along with the Indus, Jhelum and Chenab rivers, the western tributaries. And coming to the environmental flows. So what is environmental flows? No requirement to maintain the minimum river flow. So there should be some ecological balance. The minimum river flow, that means the water had to be at a minimum level which needs to be flowing continuously in a perennial river. Okay. So Indus is a perennial river. That means the water will be flowing throughout the year. The ecosystem health had to be taken care, and biodiversity. Yeah. So what is biodiversity here? Bio is life and diversity is a variety of species. So biodiversity conservation, we have to protect the various kinds of plants and animals. That is, the different kinds of flora and fauna had to be protected from getting extinct. Okay. So already we know that IUCN has already mentioned in its red book, right? There will be a red data book where the different kinds of the 9 different categories of species. The species which fall into the 9 different kinds of extinction, like least concern, extinct, okay. So there are various categories. So IUCN maintains the red data book. IUCN, it maintains the red data book. Species are categorized into 9 categories. So extinction is one of the categories. So Pakistan is raising the concern about the wastage which is dumped into the rivers. Along with that, I forgot to tell you regarding the water quality, what is happening in the Indus dolphins. The Indus dolphins are facing a problem, and it may lead to extinction. It may lead to extinction. That means the Indus dolphins species is facing problems because of the deterioration or deteriorating quality of the waters in the Indus river system. Yeah, that's about the environmental flows. And coming to the groundwater management. So here, everyone knows about what is meant by groundwater. So we are aware of the water cycle, right? So water is available in the oceans in the form of rivers, lakes, streams, ponds, and other channels and water canals, etc. Right? So because of the sun's heat, the water gets evaporated slowly. That water is reaching the sky and it is forming clouds. Okay. After that again, after condensation again, it leads to the precipitation. Precipitation can be in the form of different, like it can be rainfall, hailstones, okay, fog, etc. Right? So basically what is meant by groundwater? So how the groundwater is brought up? So groundwater is available from the recharging by the surface waters and even the rainfall. So when it rains, the water just seeps into the ground. The water slowly seeps or percolates into the ground. When there is like soil, okay, it will seep through the rocks also, but the rocks should be pervious rocks. Okay. So there should be percolation. So coming to the river systems. So river systems can be simply called as massive. The river systems can be simply called as massive soaking sponges. Yeah, the river systems can be simply called as massive soaking sponges. That means, see, whenever you take a sponge, you just dip into the waters. What happens? The sponge, it absorbs the waters, right? So similarly, the earth, the surface of the earth, okay, the lithosphere, what it does is it sucks the waters. Okay, the water seeps into the ground, it percolates into the ground through the pores. Okay, the spaces whatever available, it will go to it will even seep through the pervious rocks, and the water table, because of the rainfall, what is happening is, because of the rainfall, the water table rises. Okay, that recharges the groundwater. So river systems are simply called as the massive soaking sponges. That means they are providing or they are recharging the groundwater, which is leading to the groundwater table rise in the water levels, right? So the water comes to the surface. Okay, during the summers we find that the water table goes down, okay, because of the water scarcity. So that's about the water table. Yeah, that's about the groundwater. And the treaty is also neglecting climate concerns also. There is no proper mechanism, okay, for adapting, like there are changing rainfall patterns, right? So there is no mechanism like how to recover, okay, how to fill the gap. Coming to the glacier retreat. So what is glacier? Glacier is nothing but the glaciers are nothing but the sudden melting of the ice, okay, from the Himalayas. Okay, the sudden melting of the ice from the Himalayas, it can be due to the earthquakes or due to the avalanches. Okay, So I think you are aware of earthquakes. So what is meant by avalanche? Avalanche is nothing but the rapid movement of the ice from one side of the hill. So mountain. Okay. So that is called avalanches. So glacial retreat. Already I told you that glacial lake outburst flow. That means the sudden release of the ice. It can be in the form of ice caps or waters, which leads to floods. So we have observed this or noticed this in the case of Uttarakhand. Okay, like last year and even in the year 2018 or 17. So glacial lake outbursts. So these, when we are not focusing on the climate change, when there is no proper mechanism, that will lead to the global lake outburst flow, okay, leading to floods, which is killing lot of animals as well as the plants, and the human habitations have to be like shifted from the particular regions. And coming to the institutional weaknesses. So like already we discussed that there are various mechanisms in order to resolve the disputes, right? So initially we have got the permanent Indus Commission, right? So there are two commissioners which have to deal, have to go for the discussions, right? But there are some weaknesses, like current functions are that information exchange is going well. So currently the information exchange is going well, that's fine. And coming to technical discussions, it is going well, and treaty implementation is continuing, and dispute management is going on well. But where are we going wrong? What are the limitations? The basic limitation is that the permanent Indus Commission lacks broader authority for climate adaptation and ecosystem management. So when we are like the very basic thing, like when the temperature is rising, what is happening is there will be like scarcity of water, there will be like maybe some plants and animals will become extinct. It may lead to new kind of diseases. Okay, so the climate adaptation, we need to adapt as per the changes in the climate. We need to get adapted. So adaptation is not focused. So the permanent Indus Commission is not focusing, or it lacks the focus on like the climate adaptation and ecosystem management. Okay, so they are not like trying to protect the ecosystem, biodiversity conservation. So yeah, this is the end of the lecture. So what I want to say is that this entire lecture is divided into three parts, part 1, part 2, part 3. So this is the final one. So this was a recent article which was published in the Indian Express. So it will be like very, very important for the mains point of view. It could be, questions could be framed in the form of prelims or any kind of examinations. So that's it. Thank you so much.